All right, it's 9:03. I think we can start. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the Podman Desktop Community Meeting. It's July 24th, 2025. Um, we have a full agenda today. Let me share my screen to get to that agenda. All right. All right. We have a couple of presentations to explore the use cases for Podman desktop extensions, followed by a small demo on how to contribute to Podman desktop and a few release updates. So I think I can hand over it to Marcel. Marcel, are you there?
Yes, sure. Hello, everyone. Let me just share my screen.
I'll stop sharing.
If
1 second.
yes, okay. So here, yes. Well, for today, I'm Marcel. I'm a Podman desktop developer, and I just did a little project, a little proof of concept, in order to have a little approach to AI development. Uh, I think about to do a training or fine tuning a little small model language to to take a look into that. So I choose a project where I can label some GitHub issues, training a Phi 3.5 model. So let me just show you why I choose this project. First, it's because we do it manually in our project in our Podman Desktop repository. I wanted also to have an approach to AI development. I wanted to explore how we can train a small language model to a specific purpose, and how we can use Podman Desktop extension, AI Lab extension for AI local deployment. So for this project, I use some tools like Python for running the training script. Nikonda, that it's a tool that allow me to isolate Python environments, because actually for training AIs, there's a lot of dependencies, fixed to versions. So it's nice to have a isolated Python environment, Llama CBP for transform the model, the resulting fine-tuned model, into GDUF format that works with Podman Desktop. Then Xcode and CMake for building the llama.cpp. Finally, Podman Desktop for deploying the locally the model, and for testing, for local testing. The steps I followed to create this little project was, for first of all, collect the some issues that we have in our repository. So for that, I just used the GitHub API. So I got around 150 issues already, that has some levels. I took those issues and format them into JSON lines format. That it's a format that it goes well for training models. I then, with this formatted issues, I train the Phi 3.5 mini-struct model with some techniques like parameter efficient fine-tuning, specifically low rank adaptation, are techniques for train efficiently some small language model like this one. Also, when I convert the resulted trained model into the GGUF format in order to deploy it easily with Podman Desktop, I deployed in Podman Desktop with the AI Lab extension, and then I tested the model. So let me just share a little bit of the script that I did for training. In general, first of all, what I did is just to import, or to load the formatted issues. So here you see that are a set for training, another set for validation that are already formatted. You can see it here. So with that, well, I load this those issues. I load the tokenizer that it's going to tokenize those texts to train the model. I set the device into into Apple Silicon that actually use a framework. Well, Apple developed a framework that's called Metal Performance Shaders that allows the use of GPU in Apple Silicon chips um, for a high computational task. I said it because I'm using a Mac OS machine. Well, this is loading some parameters for efficiency, because as I run this training in my local machine, I had to be sure that the resources were really efficient and everything. Here, well, some parameters for the low rank adaptation. Here is the process to tokenize text, as you can see. Here are some of the parameters of the training. So for this case, I use well the eval strategy in epochs. I set it to 5 epochs. That it's a good number to train little data sets. Where else? Well, here I create an instance of the trainer. Here is the training process of training function. After this, what it does, the script is to create those adapters, low rank adapters and tokens, and it merge the base model with these with those adapters to have finally a trained model with with those issues. So here we can see that we have some of the epochs that is being saved. We have the merge model that I used to transform into GGUF format. For that, I just use Llama CPP. As you can see here, I just build the Llama CCP and use one of the files that has to transform Hugging Faces model format into GGUF format. Here you have. So with that, I just create this quantized small model. It's quantized because quantization, it's a process where you can make less accurate the model, but it's you will have a small model and less consumption memory model. So when I have the GGUF format model, I just import it into the AI extension from Podman desktop. As you can see, you can import here the model. So I have here the model I have already imported, so I'm not going to import it again. So here you have the model I create. As you can see, it's not it's quite small. If you click here, we can create a model service that I already created. It's here. And if you click here, you have some details of that model, like, for example, the port where it's running, the GPU inference, how you can attack this API that is created through the service. You can even change some other coding languages to take a look into that. For example, here you have JavaScript. So for use this local environment, I just create a little Node.js script. So you can, for example, I have here an example issue. So if you take the number of the issue with this script here, you can make and you copy the number of the issue. This script is going to well, I don't know if it's good where, but it's going to take look for that issue in the with the GitHub API and got the predicted levels in this. I don't know why it didn't work. And let me just, yeah, I think now it's working. Yeah, as you can see, it proposed three different levels. It's one area authentication, area OS Linux, and OS Linux. And if we take a look into the issue, you can see that it's related to the authentication. Also with GitHub, with desktop, with the desktop, the Podman desktop, and presently with the IA Lab extension, we can also create a playground that can use this model, and we can even prompt here the different issues that you have. Here I have prepared the same issue with and we can prompt it here. As you can see, I have used like a message, a prompt text to specify that we only want labels for this issue, and we can ask here, and the model will infer also some labels to this issue. Well, as you can see, there is sometimes it's not the same issues or the same labels. It doesn't apply always the same levels to each issue, and I think it's because I just I use a reduced data set for training, and I think it's not that accurate to assess well the levels on it. More or less, that's all for future works. I think it will be nice to try to set better the parameters in order to see if with my local machine I can make a training with all the GitHub issues we have for this project. That it's around 5,000, and see if it's good, if it works. So maybe we can add it to GitHub Actions and automatically, each time that the issues create, automatically is loaded. So yeah, that's a little talk that I wanted to show. And here's my repository where you can find the script and my user on GitHub. And yeah, thank you for listening. I think some of you have some questions. Yes.
Yeah. So tell me if I'm wrong, but the dataset that you use is based on the description of the issue and the labels that you got from GitHub.
That's it. The title, the description, and the labels.
Okay. Yeah. And how many entries you had in your dataset?
Like 150, 100 for training and 50 for validation.
And how long does it take to train the model?
With this configuration and these parameters, it took around 2 hours. that actually is not that bad, I think.
Yeah, okay.
And I monitor the resources that was consuming the computer. And as I use the MPS, I think the global or the GPU was more used than the CPU. The GPU was around 90%, and in CPU was around 60%.
Okay, cool. But yeah, congrats, because it's it's a nice use of AI.
Thank you. Brian, I think you have
Hello.
a
Yep.
question. Hi.
First, great presentation and a
Thank you.
fantastic project. I think this is so cool. Yeah, I think it was just more of a comment, really. I didn't really have
Yeah.
a question, but I think this is actually I did have a question. So this your script for training the model and this process, could this be done in like a recipe that anyone can use, or is it like tied to some specification that might not be easy to implement there?
I think it's quite tied to the AI model that I use, the Phi.5. So it could be a recipe if we use that model to it. But what I think it could be maybe interesting is to explore if we can maybe have already recipes could be that we can train to a specific purpose. So yeah, it could be interesting to explore that.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Awesome. Thank you, Marcel.
Thank you. I don't know, Jeff, if you have another question. I have, or it's okay.
I have a
Yes,
lot of questions, but no, not today. No, let's see how we can use on our day-to-day
Okay.
activity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you. Simon,
yes,
I don't know if
Marcel.
you wanted to ask something.
I think you didn't have the time to compare, but if we used GPT model directly asking to labelize the issue, to label the issue, would it be working better, less better? What do you think?
I actually, what I did first was to
Ouais.
create a GitHub action that used Gemini, the API from Gemini, without training, the specific training in one of my repositories, and it works quite good too. Like you can feel that a large model can work very, very cool. What I wanted to really compare is to train even a small language model with the whole data set that we have in this project, and then compare if it's better or not than to ask directly to Gemini or ChatGPT. But I think that if we use all the data set, it's going to be better, this training, this fine tuning.
That I'm not sure, because the large language models are very powerful nowadays.
Yeah, sure. And it changes every day, so yeah.
But anyway, it's very nice use of Podman desktop and training.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think that's all. Back to you, to Rita.
All right. Thanks, Marcel. Awesome presentation. I think we have Charlie next up. I'm checking. Yeah, Charlie's online.
Yep. Yeah, so I guess I'll share my screen and then start it off from there. Oh, I can't share unless somebody stops.
Marcel, you need to stop sharing your screen. Yep, there you go. Can you give it a try, Charlie? Yeah.
Yep. Can everybody see it?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, just ignore the toolbar at the top. So I'll quickly whisk through this. I'm doing a presentation on a project I call Blue Boots. Essentially, one second. I have to disable my background blur. There we go. Essentially, I have this laptop. It was running Fedora 40, and it was due for an upgrade. So I decided I wanted to put Fedora 43 on it, and I wanted to add a nice retro theme from 2003, which you will see shortly, and still be able to update it like a 2025 operating system. Just nice modern Fedora 43 with a retro theme, and I came up with this. I'll make this a little bit bigger so you can see better quality. So if you can see my cursor, this on the left is the retro theme. I took a theme called Blue Curve, which is the original Fedora Core 1.0 theme. Created the custom panel on the bottom, added some of the old school fonts to make it look like the first ever Fedora edition when it was launched. And I combined that with Bootsy technology. If you don't know what Bootsy is, it is a CNCF sandbox project where you can create a operating system as a container image, manage your entire OS as a singular container image, which makes it very useful in terms of upgrading. You can create your entire OS as a container image, deploy it. So in my case, I was able to put it on a USB stick, install it to my laptop, and then you're able to do transactional upgrades to it in place by rebuilding your container image, pushing it, and then when you log into your PC, just do bootc upgrade, and it'll pull those layers in and upgrade it. Essentially, it's a very useful tool if you just want to manage your OS in a singular file. This is based on Fedora bootc 43. I applied the retro theme, and I also included some essential tools. So I included container tools like Podman. I added an IDE, so I added Visual Studio, so I could do some development work on here. And yeah, it was quite easy, and I'll show you because it's 3 simple steps of how I built my OS, and you won't believe how easy it was because it was entirely in Podman Desktop. So for the first part, 3 easy steps. First off, you have to have Podman Desktop installed, and I hope that everybody in this call does. The first step would be pulling the image. So in here, you could put quay.io/blueboots/os. I hosted it on Quay because it makes it a little bit easier, skipping the step of actually building the container image, unless you want to build a custom one, which I'll show in a sec. So that's the first step, pulling the image. The second part is building it in the actual bootc extension. If you could see at the top, I installed the bootc extension. I clicked on the icon to the left to get to bootc, then to disk images. At the top, I selected my OS, which I named Blue Boots. For me, I wanted the ISO because I was installing it on a freshly formatted PC. I picked AMD 64, and then I added my super secret passwords, which is root super secret. And then I created a user for myself. I just named it Fedora for this example. I added myself to the wheel group because each time I type in sudo, I don't want to enter my password every single time. And then I press build. So that created my ISO. Literally that simple. And that was done for creating my user. Then the third part is writing it to a USB stick. I took my handy USB stick I have here on the webcam, and I burned my ISO onto it. And this ISO is a little bit special because it will install to the first disk available on your PC. So don't put this USB stick into someone else's computer and then purposely boot it, because they'll have a new OS when they wake up in the morning. So for me, I took the USB stick, plugged it into this laptop, which you could see here. Um, pressed F12, like I think everybody here is accustomed to when they're first installing Linux. Plugged into my PC and let it install. After that, I had a, like as you can see here, Fedora 43 now. I've been using it as my like daily development if I wanted to work on Linux since Wednesday of last week. So it's been a week and I haven't encountered any errors. It connects to Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. It's been a great experience, and all through Podman Desktop. All of this is in a single file, with the exception of a few wallpaper image files, which I might actually just do some curl or wget magic inside the container file. But it was really cool having my entire OS in one container file. If I need to make updates for software, I just rebuild the image and then push it. And yeah, this is the GitHub link. I added more technical details there, as well as more screenshots and examples if you wanted to try it out. Yeah, so that's it for my demo. If people have any questions. Yeah. Yeah. All right, thank you.
Awesome demo, Charlie. Thank you so much. All right.
Sorry, I had a quick
Yeah,
question.
go ahead, Brian.
Sorry, it's been a while since I used them, but so Charlie, how did you actually like create like the I guess edit the UI to make it retro? Was there like, did you do it from scratch, or was there like, I saw you took like an existing one and kind of like put it on
Yeah.
top, but how did that work?
So I'll post that link in the chat. So somebody took the old theme from GTK and then ported it to MAT and XFCE desktop environments, which is what RHEL and Fedora support. But the problem is that they don't replicate the original panel from Fedora Core 1.0. So I installed it, and then I still had to make the panel for the bottom and the old school icons, and then added it there. But I'll paste the link in the chat if anybody wants to install it on a non-Fedora system.
Super cool. Awesome. So it's basically like you did like 99% and just had to edit that panel, and then you were good to go.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They did most of the work. I edited the panel and got it to work with Bootsy.
That's so cool, though.
All right. If there are no other questions, we can move along. Sonia, you're up next. Would you like to share the screen, or you want me to present the slide?
I will share mine. Just a sec. Okay. So as an open source project, we love getting outside input from our users. And there are several ways you can help us to make Podman Desktop better. The first one, which in my opinion is the easiest and quickest one, especially if you don't feel comfortable writing code, is opening issues and suggesting improvements. To open an issue, you can go to our GitHub repository, go to the issues page. Click new issue and then choose the best template. The issues can be anything, like small bugs you find during your Podman desktop usage, or some features you thought about, anything. We're here for you and we can communicate on the issues and help each other. The next option is a bit more hands-on approach, is writing code and opening PRs. First thing, we have a very detailed contributing doc. Everything is written there, all the steps you need to take. So To start writing code on your local computer, you need to the best way to start doing it is by forking our Podman desktop repository and then cloning your fork locally. Once you have everything, the repository set up locally, you can start by setting up your development environment. We have here all the requisites you need, Node.js, PNPM, all the steps are listed here. Once everything is done, you go start writing your code. You start writing your code. It can be every small fix, for example. Let's do once you have your code written on your branch, there are several things you need to do first. On Podman Desktop, it's mostly automatic as long as you have your Git configured with name and email. You need to make sure that your commit follows our commit specifications. Everything is written in the contributing doc. For small fixes, it's going to be chore. For bug fixes, it's going to be fix. If it's something related to documentation, it's going to be doc. We have everything written out. You also need to make sure that your commits are signed off. Again, in Podman Desktop, it's automatic, but in some of our extensions, you might need to do it manually and make sure that it's formatted correctly and the lint is working. So let's do git commit -m. Here it's doing everything on Podman Desktop, formats it correctly. It will pop up any errors you might have relating to the lint, everything. You can see here that my commit is signed off. Again, it's automatic here. Once you make sure that everything is done locally, you can push it to your remote branch. And it should show up on your GitHub page. You sometimes might see a message pop up here on the top, but if you don't see it, you can go to Open PR, compare across forks, choose your own fork, the correct branch you want to merge. And then you see the changes, make sure everything is done here, and you do create a pull request. Some important notes is that the title also need to follow our commit specifications. If it's not the way it's supposed to be, you're gonna see a failed check in the PR, and you will just have to change the title. You have here a template you should follow, add a small note of what your PR is doing. If it's any change that can be visible to the users, you can add your screenshots here, before, after, or just the after screenshots. Here you add any issues it relates to. If you fix a certain bug that you took from an issue, you're gonna put it here. And you should add unit tests to your code, especially if it's big change. And you can add here the steps with reviewers need to verify your change, and if you have any tests covering it. To start contributing, you can use our good first issue label by going to the issues tab, choosing good first issue. And then it should a lot of issues come up. If you still don't feel comfortable, you can ping us, write any questions, and if you do find an issue you want to work on, you can just go here and assign yourself to it. If you have any questions, feel free to ping any of us or write on the issues. Thank you.
Thanks, Sonia. That was a quick update on how to contribute. We would really like everybody to take a look at this, and I'll be looking for more and more contribution from outside of Podman Desktop, outside of Red Hat team. All right. Hiri, you're up next.
Yes, may I ask you to share the last
Sure.
slide, please? Thank you.
I can.
All right. Hello, everybody. So the Podman Desktop 1.20 is out now. It's been a great release. Here are some numbers. It's based on commits. Here you can see that 4 new features were implemented, 39 new bug fixes, and 250 other commits, which is a lot. So great work, everybody. In this demo, in this session, I would like to show you a couple of interesting features, a couple of things that will hopefully make your life easier. And some of these are listed here, and some of these will be demoed afterwards. So let's have a look at it. First of all, there's a new feature to start all containers in bulk. It's just an addition to how you can start your containers, so you don't have to start them individually. You will just select them and run it. I think I'll be able to show you in more detail. The next thing is that the search and description, the search and extension tab now searches in descriptions as well, which will hopefully make searching for extension that you are interested in a little easier. Switching users and clusters, I think that we'll be able to get to a demo. It's related to Kubernetes contexts. Provider updates from a resources page, again, a thing that will hopefully make your life easier by providing an update button directly from the resources page. And a very interesting thing is local extension development mode. I will show you how to set up and enable the development mode, so your extensions will be very easy to be developed. And the last one is adding a possibility to instantly stop live container logs, which will hopefully make your debugging sessions a little more straightforward. There is a lot more. Please go to the Podman Desktop website. Click on a blog to find the latest release notes. It should be listed also on the dashboard of the Podman Desktop. So feel free to update, feel free to have a look at the complete release notes there. I will take over the sharing, and I will click around the latest Podman Desktop 1.20 to show you a couple of things. All right. So here, this is my Podman Desktop, the latest version, 1.20.2, and I will click around to show you what is new. And I would like to start with having a look at extensions panel, because now if you search for an extension, you can search within the description of extensions. So for example, before you had to know that Mink is called Mink, but let's say you remember that it's only something related to micro. Well, now you can obviously do that. It's a small addition, but it does a lot for daily workflows. As I can imagine, it might be frustrating to search only based on the name. So this is one thing. Another thing that you can see here in this section is a new tab. It's called Local Extensions, and when I click it, you will see this screen. This screen tells you what to do. If you want to enable local extensions or the developer mode, you will need to go to Preferences Extensions Developer Mode to enable it. If you are interested in this feature, it means that you are most probably implementing a new extension. If you need a guide on how to create a new extension, you can find a link here that will redirect you to the tutorial, basically, and what it requires. But for now, let's have a look at the development mode. Let's enable it. It's in Preferences, Extensions, Development Mode. So let's go to Preferences, Extensions, and here we have the development mode. I'll turn it on and go back to Extensions. Switch to Local Extensions, and you will see this. When you see this, it means that you succeeded in switching in toggling that switch. And it says that there are no extensions for now. It means that you now have a way to add your local extensions from here. I have one extension that is in development. I call that custom extension right now. I just selected that folder with the extension source files, and as you can see, it immediately showed up here. So anything that I'll do to my code base on the extension will now be reflected in this newly created tab. So this is a way how you can easily manage your local extensions without linking that using the CLI, because so far you had to run your Podman desktop setup altogether with the dash extensions directory or something like that. Now you don't have to do that. You can do it here from the UI directly. So the primary goal of this is to enable everyone to contribute easily to make the development of new extensions very easy and straightforward. If I decide that I don't need it anymore, I can just stop it and it will disappear immediately, and I can add more of these extensions. So this is a great addition, and hopefully will be useful. All right, so that's for the extension panel. What else? So we can have a look at Kubernetes and the context in relation to, like, there's an addition to editing Kubernetes context. What I will need to do is to make sure that I have some local cluster. I'm using kind. Here you can see I've got something that is called cluster one. And I want to have a look at what I can do with Kubernetes context. So there's one context, obviously, that was created when I created the cluster. I can switch to it easy as that, but nothing special, right? But when I go to the settings, and click the Kubernetes, here I can manage Kubernetes contexts. Simple as that. What is new is that you have some advanced options on how to edit the context. So when you click this button that was used just to rename the context, you can now select assignment to a cluster as well as user. When I have just one cluster, it doesn't seem like a super useful thing, but just for demonstrational purposes, let me go to settings, resources. Maybe I can create cluster 2, let's say. I'll need to increase the port number because the default one is used already. Hopefully it will not take very long. But the reason why I'm doing this is to provide that dialog more options to select from. Right, so it seems it was created. Now when I open my context windows, I can see I already have 2 contexts. The second one was set as a default. So let's have a look at that page again. So let's go to the preferences, Kubernetes. I have 2 contexts here. All right, amazing. What can I do with it? So kind cluster 2 let's call it cluster to dev, for example. What I can do now is that I can change the cluster, whether it's using the cluster 1 or cluster 2, as well as the user. If I wanted additional user, I would need to set that up in kubeconfig. And set the default namespace, let's call it dev for now. And I want one more context, so I can duplicate the context. It's this one, if I'm not mistaken. I will rename it. I will rename it to something like cluster 2 prod. The cluster selection is correct. The user is correct as well. It would make sense in a real world scenario that there are more users and will be changed. But for now, let's do it like this. So I've created 2 more contexts. They are both connecting to the same cluster, but with different default namespaces. I should be able to switch to that context. It will be visible in the Kubernetes tab. You can see that I switched to the prod and defaulted to prod with the namespace. It connected to the cluster that we specified in this page, in this configuration page. So that is regarding Kubernetes context. And yeah, bulk running containers. Well, simple as that. I've got 2 control planes from those clusters that I just created. Well, if I had tens or hundreds of containers, I would be able to just select all of them. And I'm still waiting for it to stop. Yeah. So I will be able to select all of them and just run it. And it should do the trick. It will run only those containers that are stopped. Running containers will be ignored. So that is another interesting thing, and generally I believe that's it. Maybe one more thing that I can show you where to find a new button if you have an update in your provider. When you go to resources, there is a possibility to update, for example, kind from this page directly. So I don't see it here because there's no update available. But generally, those are the highlights. If you have any questions, feel free to ask for full-featured changelog. Please have a look at the website, have a look at the blog, reach out, or don't hesitate to ask anything. Thank you for that. That's it for me.
That was awesome. This is very detailed information about the 120 updates. Thanks, Yuri. All right, that concludes our meeting. I know not a lot of outside of Red Hat people have joined today, so there may not be any questions. But if there are, please speak up right now. All right. This again is a recorded meeting. This will be available on the Podman Desktop YouTube channel. It's a monthly meeting, happens every Thursday, 4th Thursday of the month. So next would be around, let me get my calendar. Next one would be around 28th of August. So we're looking forward to get more people joining in there. Anything else anybody would like to add? Laura, I know you. This was the first meeting, Podman Desktop meeting you joined. Did you have any comments for it? Any improvement tips that you could give us?
Not particularly, other than if you're uncomfortable unmuting for any reason, or like coming off of mute or coming off on video, you can always use the chat. The chat is active, so please use that if you're uncomfortable. Just saying that for anybody who, I know there's some folks who feel more comfortable talking in chat versus coming off of video. So that'd be the one thing that I just add.
Okay.
But
good. Thanks so much. All right, folks, thank you for your time. Thanks for the presentations. I will put up the recording as soon as in a few hours. You should be able to see those. All right. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.